Bonjour, peeps. Hi, it's Neshi Lokotz here at Star Nations Organization's main fan page at Facebook, doing the daily live stream for the card draw, the divination cards. And I literally just came in. George and I were out running around in the woods, and I had a hat on, and you know what that does to your hair. It was fun though. It's about 33 degrees or so out, and the wind is a little cold, but it was fun. It was fun tramping around the woods and watching him run, right? Yeah, it's good stuff. And now he's sleeping underneath the table. We'll see how long that lasts. Yeah, he's a good boy most of the time. Hey, Julie. Hello. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Before we get started, hot now. Before we get started with the card information and just chit-chatting about the winter solstice, let's share and save, or share and and share and like the broadcast, because I've got my phone out. I'm going to do the same thing. And my internet, for some reason, is a little slow today up here at the Academy. So I might have to ask one of you guys to do the sharing to the closed group for the Academy, right? When you're a member, you can post. So it's still spinning. That's all right. Well, I can wait for mine. If you wouldn't mind doing some sharing for those that are in the chat, I really would appreciate it. Oh, you can't really see my screen. There's nothing there. It's odd. Maybe if I click off and go someplace else and then come back in. Oh, Dropbox is updating. That's why. That's why. That Dropbox takes a lot of juice, that does. All right, so I'm in. So I'm going to share it over to my personal page. And we'll just get that rolling. I'm live streaming. And please join. There, that works. That works. Yay, thank you, Rob. I appreciate that. Yay. Absolutely. You guys are the bestest. And Stephanie said, shared all to the SN groups and pages. Yay. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave my phone on, because just in case I actually can get it not to spin, I want to be able to see the chat. Hi. Oops, let's turn off the sound. At least it didn't get squelchy. And let it go, because in case I need to check comments using my phone, that might work. Technology. I've been dealing with technology all morning. First of all, I have to say that our app that we use for taking the recorded live stream videos to have them rendered and then over to archive at YouTube, that little glitch that was in there has been fixed. Yay. But the bigger yay, the app that I use is called Repurpose. Right? And let me tell you, the tech people over there are fantastic. I've been working on 4 days, and everybody was still kind and and helpful after the third day, but we finally got it to work, to send it over to SoundCloud. That was the most glitchy one we had. And so now all of the back previous recorded videos from December 1st, I know we've been at this for a long time, December 1st, are being rendered and sent over to SoundCloud. So all of the playlists should be up and going My screen just went in the studio. I don't know what that meant. But they should all have all of their videos, their audios over at SoundCloud. So if you enjoy SoundCloud rather than watching a recorded video, you can now download from the playlist. So yay! I would, if they're not there, I would give it until I think we had two still processing, and once they're done, so I'm thinking by late this afternoon or early evening, those two should be done too. Let's see. Mervyn is saying, just arrived home from work. Well, welcome home. Welcome home. Hi, honey, I'm home. And Stephanie is saying, it's like Mercury retrograde, just his SN stuff tech. I know. And the other thing I've been working on is, and I should be working on trivia stuff, but we have to get these technical issues worked out for the magazine. The partners that we have that digitizes the magazine, right? They're our main partners, and they've been doing a lot of upgrades, and there's something that we're involved with them as an option, right? And that is to get the magazine in front of 10,000 readers. I know, I'm so excited about that one. And we've been working at it for a while because there's little pieces that we have to put in place, right? And so we're in the home stretch, and the technical stuff hit a week ago. This is the first chance I've had to sit down to actually work on it and say, I have to put my blinders on, and I have to work on this for 2 days to get everything done, right? And so it's a lot of technical stuff. It's getting linking app to app, linking because there's three different apps that are talking to each other to get it, to everything to flow. And with all of that, there's a lot of cool stuff that's going to be able to happen. For instance, for those of you who have downloaded, gotten the app, and to make the purchase for a magazine or a subscription, there's several different steps you have to do. For instance, if you're an Apple user and you're using your iPhone or your iPad, you have to get to your account and download the app if you don't already have it. And there's steps that you have to go through. Well, with all of this updating and upgrading that we have to do to the magazine to get it in front of these groups of people, there's a little something that's called one tap, and literally you can purchase a magazine in one tap. So all of that has to get massaged and put into place, right? And today we found out that one of the things that has to happen is that we have to have an updated magazine app at iTunes for everything to work together. And so that I have to put on my calendar for tomorrow, because it takes all of my focus, literally, because I'm not a programmer. If I have anything that is I'm kind of like a golden retriever in that way. Anything that takes my attention away, I lose what I'm doing. And so I have to update the app at iTunes, and it's all good. It's all good. And why not? Why not do it this time of year, especially this year, so that we're releasing all of the old energy that held a purpose at one time but no longer does, right? Releasing that to create something new that's going to support our work in the new energy. And so, yes, it is tedious sometimes to do that kind of technology work, because I have to even change my glasses. I have to put those special computer glasses on. think I laugh because they look purple. The lens looks purple in the light. But anyway, that's what I'm up to. So it was good. It was really good to get outside and run with George, and before we came up to do the live stream. You know, to run in the woods like that is so much fun, and he has a good time, and so do I. All right, I'm checking my phone, and I'm also checking the comments here. Yeah. And oh, Amy Daniels is here. Amy Daniels is in the house. Amy, she is just starting a really long vacation time off from her work. What is it? Over 20 days, something like that. Oh my God! I hope you slept in this morning. You know, I hope you're still in your jammies and you're taking it easy for that first day. You know, that's what I'd be doing. And Stephanie's saying, been working on trivia questions today and yesterday. Love listening to the archives. Oh, hey, which reminds me, I need to send you some questions from a few of the hosts that just sent them to me within the last day. So I need to get those to you. They're actually pretty good. Okay, my phone is still spinning. That's not nice. Yeah, it's funny because it says there's only one comment, and look at all the comments and in this, you know, from through our partners at Be Live. Interesting. I don't know if it's me or if I don't know if it's Facebook, but at any rate, see, did I say 24 days? Can you imagine that? 24 days off, consecutive days off. Good for you, Amy. And take advantage of it. You know, do some fun stuff and do some R&R, and yeah, it's good stuff. So the cards today on this solstice day. Well, first, before we get started, because we're at the towards the end of the 12/12 gateway energy, right? Because that finishes up today. So how many people grounded today to take advantage, to take advantage of that opportunity that Spirit is offering to us through the 12/12 gateway? Remember, it was about evolution consciousness. And that means that looking at anything that is a block or impeding our soul growth and expanding and raising our frequency, right? And they were talking about the Christ consciousness, that unity, right? Yeah, we talked about that on December 12th, the 12/12 gateway, and so if you haven't done your grounding, now would be a good time just to take a moment and do that, right? Yay, Julie did. Julie Hill did. Good for you, Julie. And so did Amy. Yay. Good on you guys. That's good. Because, you know, we still have free will, right? You don't have to, but why wouldn't we want to? Why wouldn't we want to be grounded? Why wouldn't we want to take advantage of a gift that's being sent to us to help us raise our frequency, right? Why wouldn't we? And look, 12/12 ends tonight, right? That gateway. On the winter solstice, or the solstice energy of the returning of the light. Think of that metaphor. The returning of the light. And to tap into the solstice energy and to release anything that no longer serves you, right? You can say it out loud. You can light a candle, do a little bit of a fire ceremony. Remember, as soon as you make that motion to strike that match, and the moment that match ignites is a very powerful moment. So you want to make sure you have your intention clear. okay, before you strike the match, and then light the candle, or light the fire. And so it would be a good time to get your what you want to release. I think solstice is like at 4 something this afternoon here in the Midwest, or was it 3? Maybe it's 3 something in the Midwest, because Minnie and I were talking about it again, and I think it was 4:35 her time. I think. Yep. Yay! Mervin did too. We have a lot of grounded, stable, and calm people out there today. Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, grounding have to be to do all that technical work. Only with all that electronics. And so anyway, we have that opportunity to tap into the solstice energy, right? And so to release anything that no longer serves us, and then let the universe know, let spirit know what it is that we would like to create in the coming year, or to be able to do in our life, really, so what is that? What is that you would like to bring in to the physical world, into your life, through the winter solstice energy? Yeah. Paul and I were kind of reminiscing a little bit about that. We're going to have our fire later tonight. And he was saying early this morning, it was like around, I don't know, 6:30 or so, we were talking about this. And he says, last year at the solstice, when we were standing around the fire and I was talking about, reminiscing about the past year and in 2017, and what he wanted to bring in for 2018. He said that he was letting go of all of his old, the different careers that he's had, and most of them have all been in the military. And so, and letting go of any of that doesn't serve him for 2018 and going forward. And then he started talking about how he was working third shift at the time, and he was saying that he feels like he's learned a good chunk of what needs to be learned from third shift environment, and that he's ready to move to second shift or first shift, and so that's what he wanted for 2018. And sure enough, he got second shift almost all of 2018. And just a couple weeks ago, he was selected to be the quality something manager. I don't even know his title. His quality something manager, where he works. And so, and that meant that he was moved to days, first shift, front office. He has an office with a door and windows, and he was really excited about that. He was more excited about that than he was about the pay increase. Like he enjoyed that too, and he was grateful for that too, but he was more grateful for the windows and an actual door. So why I'm sharing this is so that if you haven't done anything for the solstice yet, and you're still planning to do that tonight, yeah, take a little time to kind of see how you're feeling about it, and then make your plan your intention, right? Yeah. And we also have a full moon. And I think there's also meteor showers. There's a lot of cosmic energy. Grandfather Sky is really lighting it up for us this year. And that full moon hasn't happened at solstice time, or, if you want to include this days before the Christmas energy, hasn't happened since 1977. I know. Now, there's those of us in the chat room that kind of remember 1977. That was our junior year in high school, right? And part of our senior year, part of junior, part of senior. and because graduated in 1978 from high school. And yeah, I think our basketball team, the guys were at state. Well, we were at state in '78, so we were doing all those basketball games in '77. At any rate, there's a lot of cosmic energy in that to tap into. That's why it's really important for us to be grounded, so that we can really receive that energy in a calm and stable way, right? They're going to do it in a good way. There we go. All right, let's see. I'm going to see who's talking in the chat. Yep, Stephanie is saying having to grounding pretty frequently. Kiddo has had a long day already. Aw. Stephanie, is he near you or knows what you're doing when you're doing your grounding? Because he could probably learn how to do that, right? Even in his own way. And he probably already does, knowing you. You probably already taught him how to do that. And Julie's saying, I'm showing winter solstice at 4:23 p.m. Central Time. Yay! All right, so for those people who like to get the mental mind, right, wrapped around it and understanding it to feel comfortable with it. All right, so there are those people who would really like to do their ceremony at the actual time of the solstice. And so there you have it, 4:23 p.m. Central Standard Time. And you can do your conversions for your time zones. And if you're one of those people and that's okay, perfectly fine, if you want to do it at that moment, right? Yeah. So thank you for that, Julie, for adding that in there. Yeah, Stephanie, thank you so much for putting the information about what we offer. Thank you. It's Rob. I was in second grade. Yeah, there's probably a lot of us that were babysitting those people that were in second grade. No, I wasn't, but yeah, the 70s is when we had really good rock music. When rock was rock. There, I started it. I said it out loud. And Julie's saying, I vaguely remember that year. I must have just I was just a baby then. In 78? We're the same age. Or close to the same age, I should say. Yeah, I remember bits and pieces of it. Chunks, really. And it's interesting because Marley and I still get together on occasion. She's my bookkeeper for Star Nations. And so we get together on occasion. And she has certain memories. I go, when did that happen? I don't remember even what. And then she'll explain it to me, or I'll remember something that she completely forgot. So it's kind of good stuff. Stephanie says, as best I can, he needs better methods of grounding. I think tapping may become a technique where we start using. Yeah, I bet you anything. That would be. Yeah, or using the tree medicine might be helpful. Yeah. Maybe a picture of trees or yeah, something like that. That grounding, yeah. All the good music came out before 1975. It was in the 70s, that's all I'm saying. 75, I was a sophomore in high school. We had good music. We had a jukebox, a real one, in our cafeteria in high school. And when we'd go and play that thing, we had actually two lunch lines, hot lunch, and then the cold lunch. And thinking back on it, that wasn't really very healthy. I mean, it was like ham sandwiches and shakes. You could have chocolate or vanilla shakes, and I don't remember there being any vegetables or any fruit on on the cold lunch. I don't remember that. And then there was those of us that would walk up to the liquor store and buy candy. All the metabolic rate as teenagers, right? Yeah. Okay. Stephanie said that, and then Rob. Okay, so in 1876, if you count country, no, I'm sure some people would. See, I told you I started it. I said it out loud. Okay, let's get to the cards. Because the cards today, when I did the request, stated the intention, right, for the card draw. I added in here's what I usually say is talking to my spiritual team, I'm asking them for assistance to please show me the energy that's most important for us to know about today, for our highest good and highest good of all, and that we can share with others. Okay. But today I also added in there specifically for this winter solstice or summer solstice for those who live in the southern hemisphere. So this is the first card that came. Winter. How appropriate, huh? Winter. I just love that wolf. I have a thing about canine energy. Take care of your needs. Take care of your needs. Yeah. For those of us that walk with wolf medicine, as a power animal or as a birth totem, walking with wolf medicine, we're really good at teamwork. We're pack animals. We enjoy working with at least a couple other people, maybe not, huge crowds of people, but we enjoy the communication and the building of a community kind of thing, because wolves are community animals. They live in packs, right? And they have a structure in their community, and they have leadership. They take care of their young. They take care of their elders. The pack leader, the alpha male, isn't in the front, and neither is the alpha female. They're the last ones in the pack when they're moving from one place to another, because they're keeping track of the young and the old, making sure that they're safe, right? And the young adults in the group, they're the ones that are kind of breaking the path for the young and for the old. And so, when you're looking at wolf medicine, some of the stereotypes we can kind of demyth, right? There is no such thing as a lone wolf. There is no such thing as a lone wolf. You may see a wolf by themselves, and it's usually a young male, and they may be looking for their mate. They may be looking to start their own pack. And so they may be alone for a little while, but they don't live that way. So that is a myth. And how do I know this? Is because I also look at the habitat of the actual animal. So reading books about the wolf, reading about, and going to watching documentaries and those kinds of things. But there's also the spiritual side of it, right? And so with that, what are wolves? They hear very well. They're clairaudient. Their olfactory is 100 times, isn't it? 100 times more sensitive than a human. So they hear and they pick up the scent very easily. Yeah. And they also mate for life. The alphas do. They mate for life. That's what the little bit that I know about the wolf. But this is talking about take care of your needs, taking care of your needs. And in winter on the medicine wheel, winter is about going within, right? The wolves don't hibernate. They do. I was going to say kennel up. They do conserve their energy, right? They do that. And so hunting becomes very efficient because that's where they expend most of their energy is in the hunt to feed the pack. And they hunt as a team, and that's where the communication comes in. And they can communicate over miles and miles. It's kind of like a relay system. And so in the winter, when we're looking at it on the medicine wheel, and the one that I live by anyway, because there's different variations. When we're in December, we're at the northwestern part of the wheel. We're in what's called the crosswinds. And the crosswinds can be kind of uncomfortable. There's a lot of change that happens in that because it's the changing of the seasons in there, in the crosswinds. Okay. There's a Potawatomi word. It's called shoshkiwen. And that's when it's not quite raining, it's not quite snowing, and it's starting to freeze. So it's kind of, that's what reminds me of this part of the wheel, is that it can be kind of uncomfortable, and you can tell that there's a change. There's change. But as we're heading into the very top, the very direct north, which is January, is that this is the time of year that we start to reminisce. We take a look back at what we've accomplished this past year. All those things that we planted, and tended and nurtured, and then and harvested, right? What worked, what didn't work? What would we do differently? What would we do exactly the same that we did? So it's a time to kind of sit back and say, okay, this is what I learned this past year, right? And so the energy slows down in coming closer and closer to January. The energy kind of slows down so that we can do that. This time of year on the medicine wheel is all about change and feeling that uncomfortableness in the stretch as we make decisions about what to keep and what to hold on to. Yeah. And in that stretch, and that it's kind of like growing pains in a way, Do you remember that? Those growing pains? Whether they're your own growing pains in your physical body, or if you have kids and watching them go through it, how much the joints hurt and shin splints and, all of that stuff. That's the crosswinds. It's uncomfortable. And so let's find out what Kyle, the author of the cards, has to say about winter. Winter. Oops, went right by it. It says, take care of your needs. Do everything you need to be at your best. Then move beyond your fears and limitations. Oh my goodness. There it is again. Moving past your fears. In order to move past the fears, you have to actually look at them to be able to move past them. And so here we are again, taking a look at what we're looking at. What's our greatest fear? And identifying it so that we could heal it, release it. So because on the other side of that is your greatest desire. So here it is again. We're finishing up the year with it. And the other thing is doing everything that you need to do to be at your best. So what is that for you? Because only you really know. No one else can really tell us that. So what is it that you need to do to be at your very best? And are you doing it? Or are you procrastinating? Are you acting like, I don't see that? I don't want to look in that direction. I don't want to hear it. La 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 la. I don't want to hear it. Yeah. What do you have to do to be your very best? And if it popped into your mind in that moment when I asked it, then pay attention to that, right? And start preparing yourself, if you haven't already, in moving in that direction. What do you have to do to be at your very best? I know what mine is. Mine is getting more sleep. Yeah. Mine is putting up the sign, 10:30, you're done. You're done. There have been times when I've actually gone to bed soon after Mom. She's usually in bed around 8:30. And so once I take care of her and she's settled in for the night, there have been times when I've gone to bed early. Not many, but there it is. And it's always been that way for me. I get the second wind at 9:30 at night. And it's always been that I've been more creative in those hours. And especially because, especially when my house finally goes quiet, Paul and now George are upstairs, getting ready for bed around 9:30, 10 o'clock. And I'm just getting started. It's like, and so that's what I need to do, is I need to find a way to be able to get more sleep, because I'm at my best when I'm well rested. Yeah. Says the person who gets 5 to 6 hours of sleep a night. If I'm lucky. Hey, Rochelle's here. Hi, Rochelle. Good to have you in the house. Hope you're feeling better. And so for Rochelle, here we go. This is the first card, Winter. We talked about the wolf, and it says, take care of your needs. Take care of your needs. And the message is doing everything you need to be at your best. Then move beyond your fears and limitations. Move beyond your fears and limitations. Yep. George is trying to get comfortable again. Yep, there he goes. Says the winter card features a wolf, one of few animals that stay active all year long. Yeah, it says you have an opportunity to move beyond your fears. Although you may feel in the dark, get comfortable with being in the unknown and trust that the light within you will sustain you through what may seem a challenging process. Okay, so if we're looking at what is it that we need to do to be our very best, it may be a challenge to get there, right? And if we don't spend time with it to understand it, to get to actually accomplishing it, we may have to be in the dark for a little while as we try to understand it. And not everybody is comfortable. Hey, Julie said, love that jukebox. I know, so did I. We were talking about this jukebox in our old high school. And the green door. Yes, the green door. Yep. Cutting across. What was his name? He was the chiropractor. His daughter, Crystal, was in our grade. Yeah. Can't remember their last name. We cut through their lawn. Jeez, those teenagers. All right, so then says, ask yourself what you need to do to feel supported and alive. You may uncover something from your past that you have buried deep. Know that when you unearth it and shed light on it, you create the space for miracles. You may feel like a lone wolf right now, but it's time for you to be the alpha. Yeah. Hey, there you go. Thank you, Julie. Marshall. That's right. Yeah. They probably didn't enjoy it or appreciate us cutting through the side lawn to get to the green door. So when the winter card arrives in the future position of the spread, which it didn't, it can also indicate that the coming winter will usher in the important energies in regard to the question or your intention. So I think this particular card came first. And I really do believe that it has more to do with, again, with being at our best. When we're at our best, we're actually able to use our gifts, right? We're not, speaking from experience, you're not so tired to actually, to use your gifts and shine with them, right? Yeah. So doing what we have to do to be at our best, to take care of our needs, to be able to do that. And so that's the primary message for this winter solstice, or this solstice, I should say, both summer and winter. Yeah. It's kind of a challenge, especially if we're procrastinating about it, because, there's a part of us that knows, right, what we need to do to be at our best. All right, here's the second card. High Priestess. High Priestess. It says, harness mystic power. Harness mystic power. And, take a look at the cat, right? The black cat representing the goddess Bast. Notice the earring in the cat's ear, right? Of course, and then you also have the lotus blossom there. Yeah. A little of the tattoo on her arm. Yeah. We got the Merkaba up on top. Yeah. There we go. High Priestess. The High Priestess in mystery schools, actually spiritual schools, were women, right? They're the ones that held the sacred energy there. Yeah. And so when we're talking about the High Priestess and harnessing the mystical or the mystic power in conjunction with the winter card and taking care of our needs and doing whatever it is that we have to do to be at our best. Because when we're at our best, we're harnessing our mystical power. In other words, our intuition, our gifts. Yeah. And how many of us in past lives or parallel lives were high priestesses? There's a lot of us that walk around with that wisdom that we had from those past lives. And how do we use that in the best way in this present life? And not get hung up on, I was a high priestess. It's like, oh, so what? A lot of people were. So harnessing the mystic power. It says, align with the light and focus on all things positive. harness the light, and focus on all things positive. So if we're doing whatever it is that we have to do to be at our best, that it's going to be helpful when we align with the light within, that's your soul, and the Creator's light, right? That alignment. And when we're aligned, we're grounded, we're balanced. And when we're like that, when we're in that frequency, that vibration, yeah, it's so much easier to be positive. It's so much easier to see the good, or know that the good is there somewhere, right? And it's easier to really use our gifts, to sense and know that we have a self-confidence that comes with it, right? The High Priestess. It says the High Priestess is the physical embodiment of the divine feminine, the goddess in human form. She had many names through time and space, but her essence has remained similar: fierce, powerful, and disciplined. Uh-oh. There's that word called discipline, and that kind of goes along with doing whatever it is that we have to do to be at our best. Because sometimes it does take self-discipline to be able to do that. Yeah. George is getting restless. The High Priestess in this deck is the consort and partner of the High Priest. She is joined by a black cat representing the Egyptian goddess Bast, who protects her from the lower energies, and she stands strong in her glory and power. He goes on to say that you are a mystic with the capacity to connect with energies that go beyond the human senses. Within you is a force of magic that is directed by your will. There is an opportunity for you to rise up at this time, but it requires dedication and discipline. Dedication and discipline. So who are we dedicating our energy to but ourselves? When we're doing whatever it is that we have to do to be able to be at our best. Yeah. Hey, Georgie, come here, babe. Here you go. I'm going to give him his Kong. It's got some treats in it. I'll keep him busy for a few minutes. All right. So you're being guided to look at what you're working on or at the situation before you and determine where your priorities lie. So if I put it in my example, my priorities, when I should be in bed sleeping and I'm done with my work and it's 11:30, 12 o'clock, and I decide that I'm going to watch a little bit of The Traveler before I go to bed, or read. And so by the time I get done with that, it's 12:30, right? By the time I'm actually in bed, when I should probably have gone to bed by 11 at the latest, right? So that's that self-discipline. If you're unable to figure out, you must use your intuition and discernment to focus on what will bring you closer to your goal and the happiness of everyone involved. When this card arrives, it's important for you to check in with your intuition, as it will give you guidance that will be important for your growth. And so really, this is all about our soul growth. And our soul growth is all about using our gifts and learning the life lessons that come along with it. Yeah. So here we are. We got Spirit telling us, nudging us, is identify what it is that we need to do so that we can be at our best. And when we're at our best, we're using our gifts, we're shining our light, we're connected to the Creator, we're living our life in a balanced way between our head and our heart, living our life from our high heart. Yeah. So it's kind of like a chain reaction. And it's going to take self-discipline to get there. Right? Yeah. For those of us who, that we studied for our career, whatever that was, whether it was, to go through and graduate from college, or to go to a technical college to get certified in whatever it is that you do. We set our intention, we worked our plan, and sometimes it took years to work that plan. But we achieved it, right? And along the way, we had to learn about self-discipline in order to get prepared for whatever, the tests, right? The papers that had to be written, the quality steps that you had to take to get your certification. We've been through it. And then this time it's about working on our soul growth. And so if we can recall that memory of what it was like to have some self-discipline to get to that point. Doesn't mean you can't have fun. Doesn't mean that you can have joy while you're doing it. But we need to do it. We need to do it. It's kind of like me having to put the blinders on to get this technical piece done for Star Nations. Got to do it. I know I have my January articles that have to be written. I have trivia that we're going to get pulled together, and I have to create the information around that. So, there's other things that have to get done too. But this technical piece has extreme importance on it. So there's that self-discipline, right? Instead of watching a movie or doing laundry, or finding anything else to do but that, that's going to take some self-discipline. So, yeah, that is what I got from these cards today. And if anything resonated with you about that information, please embrace it. Maybe even use it for your winter solstice, how you honored that energy today, this evening. And get prepared for the 22nd. December 22nd is the time for the new energy to begin coming in full force, right? So we get to finish up some things tonight with the winter solstice and prepare for the new energy that's flowing. Hey, look who came up. He's getting so tall. Here, we're going to take the camera. Here he is. Yep, that's my George. Bye, George. He doesn't like that when I say that. When I say that to him, bye, George, because he thinks it's going to bye. Okay, well, yeah, I know. Okay, good boy. Good boy. Now, George and I wish you the best blessings for the winter, for the solstice, whether you're celebrating the winter or the summer, and getting prepared for the Christmas holiday, right? And we will see you tomorrow with the daily live stream and the card information tomorrow. So, Bama Mina. And that's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. I love you guys.